Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is December 3rd, 2024, and the supporters section has hit back at the board of directors. Also, the anti-violence committee have recommended a punishment for Real Madrid fans who abused Lamine Yamal and other Barcelona players. And finally, Alphonso Davies has reduced his demands. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as you can see, I'm still out of the country, so this is why I'm bringing you the short live stream to keep you up to date on all Barcelona news. This is not a podcast, so it will be short, and I won't be addressing the chat section. Having said all that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to hit the Goal Kids Kickback Fanatics. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are in the description. And now let's begin with the news because we are a few moments away from the match between Mallorca and FC Barcelona. Only, 2-3 days after Barcelona's fumble against Las Palmas. Hopefully the team can revert back the situation and we can go back to our winning ways in La Liga. And of course, speaking of that match, let's look at the lineup because it has been announced by Barcelona. Of course, Iñaki Peña, as Hansi Flick said, will remain Barcelona's goalkeeper for now, not Szczesny. We have Pau Cubarsí Martinez, our two center backs, Kunde and Balle as our two fullbacks. And our double pivot, we have Marc Casado back in the lineup after being suspended in the match against Las Palmas, right next to Pedri. And in front of them, of course, is Dani Olmo, who's also back in the lineup after missing the match against Las Palmas due to muscle problems. On the wings, Lamine Yamal on the right, Rafinha moves back to the left, and then the big surprise of this lineup is Ferran Torres taking the place of Robert Lewandowski. Definitely a surprise change in the lineup. We don't know if that change is because Flick wants to rest Lewandowski or if Lewandowski is maybe feeling some discomfort or Flick wants to try something new. But definitely Ferran Torres in the number 9 is going to be very interesting to see. Hopefully he can shine. Because, again, we need all of our players to come through. Maybe Ferran Torres can find his Spain version versus Barcelona version, which is a much, much better version. Now, speaking of the match against Mallorca, guess who's going to be the referee? It's no other than Madrid's favorite ref, Gil Manzano, the big-time Madrid guy. You know, he's a Madrid fan. He's the referee who was caught a few years ago leaving the Santiago Bernabeu with gifts, with bags full of gifts. And of course, someone who has been a thorn in Barcelona's path time and time again. And today he's going to be reffing the match between Mallorca and Barcelona. So not only do we have to deal with trying to find our way back, our form back, but we also have to deal with this clown called Gil Manzano. Hopefully it all goes well. As I always say, if the team does its job, the referee becomes irrelevant. So hopefully that's what's going to happen in today's match. Now, of course, there will be a post-match live analysis, maybe not as soon as the match ends, but maybe later tonight. But I'll definitely be doing a post-match live analysis, so stay tuned to the channel. Now, speaking of matches, we do have to talk about the supporter section because, ladies and gentlemen, they have hit back. Now, as you know by now, there's a big problem with the supporter section because the board of directors sent them a bill of 21,000 euros, which is the total of all the fines Barcelona received last season for inappropriate behavior by the fans. The supporter section refused to pay it, so Barcelona banned them from the match against Brest. They also didn't pay again, so Barcelona banned them from the match against Las Palmas. And now the supporter sections have hit back. They have released a statement attacking the board of directors, saying that the board of directors are selling the club both economically and socially. Now, economically, of course, they're referring to the assets that the board sold in order to generate funds. But socially speaking, the supporter section are complaining that Barcelona or the board are selling the culture, the essence, the soul of what is FC Barcelona by filling the stadium with tourists who, you know, are doing the wave while the team is losing or while the team is drawn, rather than, you know, supporting and chanting for the team, by increasing the prices of the tickets, making it unaffordable for the locals and unaffordable for the true fans who live in the city of Barcelona, and also by trading the colors of the team for marketing purposes. Of course, they're talking about, you know, the away jerseys being all these crazy different colors versus the Blaugrana colors. And they're saying that this is killing the spirit. And with the board of directors finally banning the supporter section, it's kind of like the final step in selling off the club socially and killing the spirit and killing the essence of what is FC Barcelona. So the supporter section definitely hitting back at the board of directors, who are refusing to sit down with these groups. They're saying you either pay the 21,000 euros or you're not allowed into the stadium. There's no negotiations, there's no sit down, no talks. So definitely not looking good. It's not looking good, because a club should never be in a fight with its own supporter section. We've all seen the 2 last matches. Those matches sounded like absolute cemeteries, total silence, which kind of takes away the home advantage. So not good what's going on, but also I do understand the club's position of wanting to reinforce its rules and being sick and tired of having to pay all these fines as a result of some idiots who decide to do things like, you know, racist chants, Nazi symbolism, etc., etc. So it's not looking like it's coming to an end anytime soon. Hopefully both sides can come to an agreement, but it's not looking good for the supporters section. Now, speaking of supporters section, we do have to talk about the anti-violence committee, because they have identified the two perpetrators who racially abused Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Balde, Ansu Fati during the El Clasico match. As we know, a lot of racist insults were heard from the Real Madrid supporters section, calling them monkeys, telling them to go back to the streets to sell diapers at the red lights. I don't know. I guess that's a thing in Spain, or that's an insult in Spain. But with Real Madrid, of course, launched an investigation. Supposedly, La Liga's launched an investigation to identify who it is. And they've identified two perpetrators, which is interesting, because when you go back and watch the video, the celebration videos, you see, you know, dozens of Real Madrid fans hurling racial insults at Lamine and other Barcelona players, but they've only identified two. I don't know, you tell me, but it gets worse. It's not that they've only identified two people. You're going to laugh when you hear the punishment, because these two supporters, these two Real Madrid fans, have been banned for 1 year from the stadium, and they've been issued a 5,000 euro fine. Now, you say, what do you mean it's funny or ironic? I'll tell you why. In comparisons, when Vinicius Jr. was racially attacked or racially insulted at Mestalla, at Valencia Stadium, a big section of that stadium was closed. So no fans were allowed. Not just the ones who racially abused Vinicius, but the whole supporter section was closed. Here, nothing. Also, the Valencia fans who were identified of racially abusing Vinicius were banned for life. Here, just 1 year. So, in other words, you can racially abuse other players. That's totally okay, as long as they're not Real Madrid players. If they're Real Madrid players and you racially abuse them, you will pay for it. But if you racially abuse other players from other teams, that's okay. Slap on the wrist, right? Simple mistake, simple misunderstanding. Absolutely astonishing what goes on in this league, but here we are. Now, the last bit of news is we do have to talk about Alphonso Davies, because the Canadian fullback has finally decided to reduce his demands. As you know, he wanted a 15 million euro signing bonus plus a 20 million euro salary. And now he has decided to reduce them. And you might think that's good news for Barcelona. It's not, because now Bayern Munich have initiated negotiations to renew his contract, because Bayern were not willing to pay the demands that Davies wanted. So it seemed like he was on his way out. Barcelona were tracking him to see what's going to happen. And now that he has reduced his ridiculous expectations and demands, Bayern Munich are now in negotiations to renew him. So if there was any little hope that Barcelona could sign him, it's not looking like it. I never thought it was possible anyway, because there was no way that Barcelona could pay that high salary and that signing bonus. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Let's hope that the team wins, and wins convincingly against Mallorca today. and I will see you guys in the post-match live analysis. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, kawan.